Real possessed dolls can be a fascinating and terrifying topic for many people. They have been the subject of numerous horror films, including the Chucky series and several television shows. For people who are interested in the paranormal, real possessed dolls can provide an exciting experience. For those who are curious, they can provide an opportunity to explore the unknown. Today we're going to look at 5 real-life dolls that are said to be possessed. But before we do that, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button below to help support. Also, click on the bell so you're notified when we post a new scary video. Now we've got that out of the way, let's get into the list of possessed dolls. 1. Robert the Doll. Robert the Doll is the stuff of nightmares. There have been numerous tales of hauntings and possession associated with the doll over the years, with some people claiming to have witnessed Robert move on its own or even talk. The doll's backstory dates back to 1904, when it was given to a young boy in Key West, Florida, named Robert Eugene Otto by a Bahamian servant of the family's. Otto took the doll and named it after himself. Soon, it seemed Robert the doll had a life of its own. Otto's family and servants would hear him talking to the doll as if it were a person, and Otto swore that the doll talked back to him. Sometimes, when the family members were away, they'd come home to find furniture moved and objects out of place, as if the doll had been playing a game of its own. Over the years, people who have come into contact with Robert the doll have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread in its presence, and some have even claimed to have been physically attacked by it. There have even been reports of it moving from place to place on its own. Although the doll has changed hands several times since its creation, it remains a source of fascination and fear for many people, and its legend continues to grow. 2. Mandy. Mandy the doll is a story of a cursed toy that has been passed down from generation to generation for many years. It is said that Mandy was created by an evil witch who used the doll to bring misfortune to its owners. The doll was passed down to an unsuspecting family who didn't know what they were getting themselves into. As soon as the family took the doll home, strange things started to happen. Lights would flicker, objects would move, and strange noises were heard. It was soon discovered that Mandy was possessed by a dark spirit. The family tried to get rid of the doll, but no matter how hard they tried, they could never get rid of it. They tried burning it, burying it, and even throwing it in the river, but nothing worked. Eventually, they decided to keep the doll and lock it away in a room, hoping that the spirit would eventually leave. Unfortunately, this was not the case. The family soon started to experience even more sinister occurrences. People in the house would get sick, nightmares would plague them, and people would even hear voices coming from the room where the doll was kept. The family was desperate for a solution, and eventually, they decided to contact a priest. The priest performed a ritual to try and remove the spirit from the doll, but it didn't seem to work. The family was at a loss, and they decided to take the doll to an exorcist. After a long and arduous process, the exorcist was able to remove the spirit from the doll. 3. Okiku. Okiku the doll possession is an urban legend of Japan. It is said that in the early 1900s, there was a girl named Okiku who was a servant in the household of a samurai. One day, the samurai gave her a doll as a gift, and she cherished it very much. However, one day the doll went missing, and Okiku was so distraught that she searched the entire house for it. After hours of searching, she finally found the doll on the top shelf of a closet. When she grabbed it, she heard a voice coming from the doll saying, "Thank you for finding me, but I must go now." Okiku was so frightened that she dropped the doll and ran. Later, whenever anyone approached the top shelf of the closet, a voice would be heard saying, "There are 9 of us now." It is said that the doll is possessed by the spirit of Okiku, who is still searching for her lost doll. 4. Harold. Harold the doll possession is a story that has been around for many years. It is a story that has been passed down through generations about an old doll that is said to be possessed by a spirit. The story goes that Harold was a porcelain doll made in the late 1800s. He was a gift given to a young girl by her grandmother. The girl loved the doll, and he became her favorite toy. One day, while playing with the doll, the girl heard a voice coming from the doll. She was scared and ran away, leaving the doll behind. That night, the girl heard the doll crying and calling her name from the other room. She was too scared to go and investigate, so she stayed in her room. Her parents soon heard the crying and called in a priest to bless the doll. The priest could feel a presence in the doll and told the family that it could be a spirit, not just a regular doll. The family decided to get rid of the doll, but they could never find it. It seemed to have vanished into thin air. Years later, the doll was found in the attic of the same house. It was said that the spirit of Harold was still in the doll. Since then, stories have been told about the doll all over the world. It is said that if anyone touches the doll, they will be possessed by the spirit of Harold. People have reported strange occurrences happening around the doll, such as lights flickering, strange noises, and even furniture moving by itself. Some people even claim to have seen the doll move and talk. 5. Annabelle. Now to number 5. And what would a list of possessed dolls be without the possession Annabelle? The real Annabelle doll, unlike its portrayal in movies, is not a porcelain doll, but a seemingly innocent-looking Raggedy Ann doll. The doll gained notoriety after paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren encountered it during the 1970s. It was a gift to a nursing student named Donna from her mother, but strange occurrences quickly unfolded. The doll's eerie appearance, with its lifeless eyes and enigmatic smile, belied the malevolent spirit that resided within. The Annabelle doll was more than just a mere plaything. It exhibited a range of paranormal activity that terrified its owners. The doll would mysteriously change positions, leave notes, and even move across rooms. It seemed to emit an aura of fear, causing unsettling nightmares and a sense of being watched. The Warrens determined that the doll was not possessed, but rather manipulated by an inhuman presence seeking to possess a human host. Annabelle served as a conduit for a malevolent entity known as a demon. This dark force preyed upon the innocent and vulnerable, feeding off their fear and attempting to gain control over their lives. The Warrens believed the doll was used as a vessel by the demonic presence to establish a connection with the physical world. The entity's intentions were far from benevolent, and its influence over the doll was a chilling testament to the supernatural forces that exist beyond our comprehension. The real Annabelle doll is a source of fascination for many horror fans, and it is still the centerpiece of the Warrens Occult Museum, where they placed the doll in a glass case and sealed it with a cross and holy water. So there we have it, 5 possessed dolls that exist in real life. Possessed dolls can be a very scary topic. Although there is not much scientific evidence to back up these claims, many people have reported experiencing strange and unexplainable events involving their dolls. Whether they are real or not, possessed dolls remain a mysterious and intriguing topic. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you would like to see more content like this. Thanks for watching and see you next time.